So, as I sit, my attention immediately focuses on the sensation of the cold air. The center of myself, where I am. And knowing this gives us the wisdom to move away from it and towards the perimeter of the sphere that is the physical world. And it's already in motion, so that sphere is getting farther and farther away. And so what do we take faster than light with us to the edge of space? Well, thoughts and all invisible things that are not bound to baryonic energy can travel faster than light. And so like a hallway, we point it outward, and once we see our target, that's when we shoot. The target is just on the other side of the things that you see in front of you. You know what I mean? Trying to break through the wall of light. The zero-dimensional point at the center of the circle. Space-time itself is curved. It's spherical. It's like the surface of a balloon, expanding outward, outward, outward. So we take the energy from the center, which is infinite, and we line up our sights outward through whatever is out there that we sense. Could be a coffee cup, could be the Grand Canyon, and the attention comes to focal points that sort of give you a top-down map of your surroundings, and it is just beyond the depth or the texture of that stuff, because those aren't things, it's just stuff, the whole universe. And so just beyond it is where you cast your gaze, and you will find that there are things there. You will find you can connect with this place through a sacred energy known as chi and geometrical properties known as dimensions. Zero-dimensional point, one-dimensional line on a curved sphere surface ends up being a circle. Understanding this is the perimeter. You know what I mean? Understanding that it's all one shape with multiple dimensions, and that, the line is just waiting till it interacts with itself to become a circle. It's a time-based process on that level, because stuff changes always, and therefore time is necessary. It's really just change itself, vibration and movement. These are the steps, though, because at the center of the self, where you are right now, there is no time, because all things that exist surround you. Of course, the human body itself surrounds you, and it's comprised of physical things that change over time. And so we're kind of stuck on that level, but you can take a step back from it and think about what's beyond it, and meditate in a way that your attention is being focused as the awareness is set towards the physical world and then beyond it. You know what I'm saying? Because most people are so wrapped up in their heads that they don't even focus on the outside world. But the thing you're seeing isn't really the outside world. It's a wall of perception that has texture. And that texture is considered stuff. And just like all energy can be boiled down to the same stuff, in certain dimensionalities, this is the key to understanding how things function. Because radiation from electromagnetic phenomenon are not processable with the auditory system because it's not the same kind of energy. And so this boiling everything down to dust, crushing it up to dust, works for things that are functioning with the same wave type and from the same field. And the fields are actually where the stuff happens, because there's a force-based system that you have to understand. And the forces are things that are responsible for fusion, fission, strong and weak nuclear force, electromagnetism, and gravity. But gravity is less of a force and more of a result of the warping of the space-time that surrounds an object that has mass. And so the point of the forces is that the strong nuclear force has no effect on gravity. They don't exist, even though they're both here with us right now, they don't exist in the same level or dimensionality. You know what I'm saying? Light is like one dimensional, or you could argue two, you know, as opposed to like a brick is three dimensional, as opposed to like, you know, a dot is zero dimensional, like a point on a graph, you know what I'm saying? And so different dimensionalities exist somehow all within this picture that we're creating of whatever our true self believes is outside of us. Because it's all perception. And so to see past it, you really just need to acquire energy and focus. And then, you know, you'll start seeing the signs. And it's all about phenomenology. And to me, it's all about the DMT space, and it's all about finding ways to interact with that space without using hallucinogens. And I know there are ways, there are meditation practices, for example, that can produce states of ecstasy and, you know, hyper ascension or whatever you want to call it. And that's similar to what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to use intellectual proof of the existence of these things with like geometry and with personal experiences. And so that's why I am always as real and confident and concise in my language as I can be, because I believe that if you truly believe something, it's already more real than if you're just saying something you don't believe. And if, you know, I am right about a lot of this stuff, then, you know, one would be able to use these steps of meditation and intellectual understanding to have an experience that is blissful while in a DMT space. You know what I'm saying? I'm not recommending anybody do DMT, but if they are and they watch this video, they might have a grand understanding about the way that the world surrounding them works. Now, mine can only go as far as the toroid, which is when the inside of the universe becomes the outside, and a hole is basically created between after death and this reality, the world of ideals versus the world of forms, as Plato put it. Beyond that is up to the person themselves.